What's up, guys? Welcome back. Thanks for tuning back in. Hella Bucky here, and today we're going to be working on the trunk of my 1974 Chevelle Malibu Classic Colonnade. Let's give you a little recap of what we did yesterday. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and poke your head back over there and then come back, because we got a lot to do today. So we fixed a little bit of cracking here on the center of the hood in two spots, and then the bigger spot here, we fixed that. We didn't fix it real good, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, we still have some cracking showing through there, some speckling. We're gonna give that a little bit of love, a little sanding. I got some 400 grit that'll make that pretty good. It won't be good, but we don't strive for good, we strive for acceptable. So let's head back over here. This one's a little worse than the hood, a lot of cracking here. That's probably going to be a little bit of Bondo there. Looks like something got dropped on here or peeled off of here. I don't know, maybe he had an unfavorable election sticker on there and he's like, oh, didn't want to show anybody I voted for that guy, and just ripped it off. Who knows? It was a previous owner. I didn't do this. I just bought it like this, which I often do with dumb cars that I shouldn't bother with. But it's fun, when you love old cars, you don't find time for much else. So we're gonna get going on that. Got the good old orbital sander. It's very tough. Word on the street is you don't want to mess with this guy because he's hyper tough. Right now we're working with a semi-cashed out piece of 220 grit, I believe that is. Once we get closer to acceptability, we'll switch to 400 grit, and I'll show you the process along the way. Also, I think we got a little bit more of that oil there and the oil here that I'm gonna try to give that a little, or as it may be, and I'll hit it with some acetone. Hopefully we can get rid of that, and maybe I'll just a little primer over that, and it'll look acceptable. Either way, I'm just gonna paint over it. It's gonna happen, whether it likes it or not. If it fills up in 5 years, I'll just do the same thing again. I'll probably have time in 5 years to do it again. If not, then I probably won't have the car. Or maybe I still will, and maybe I won't have time because I'll have another dumb car, or several more dumb cars, or dumb motorcycles, or dirt bikes, or BMX bikes, or road bikes, or one of the many other things that I'm into that I should just, I need to pare down on my hobbies, because they're all kind of time consuming. So as you can see, about halfway there, I can still kind of feel some of the scratches coming through. This just barely catching my finger. Yeah, it's not terrible. Haven't hit this yet, but what I did do, I told you I wasn't gonna do, but I decided to do, but gave a little kiss to this rust spot. I think that's about all it needs. We're good. I might give it a little with some 400 grit just to get some of the roughness off there, but I think that'll do. So yeah, we're dealing with some scratching. 400 grit will take care of that. I'm gonna give this just a little more love get rid of that and take the edge off that, because you know, if this cracking continues, which it very well might, that's gonna crack through the satin black, and then we're just gonna have some Bondo showing, so we don't want that. All right, we're almost there. I'm gonna keep on keeping on, and I'll let you see the results before I shoot on a little high build program. All right, well, here's where we're gonna stop with the sanding. So this 220 pad was getting pretty cashed. You know, there might be some life left in it, but it just wasn't doing the business. So I went ahead and busted out the 120 grit and really gave it the beans. Now I know it still looks like there's some scratches, but you hear that? Nope, not catching my finger. So that's gonna be just fine. This one, not catching my finger, that's fine. We still got a little bit of cracking. Let me give you all some extra light so I can really show my sins. So yeah, obviously whoever had this car did some filling on it, because we got some body filler here and some bare metal there. You know, I tried to keep it pretty even, but you know, it's definitely got some waves in it. Yeah, that was another motivation for the satin black. I'm hoping that since I'm going with the satin finish instead of a gloss finish, it's gonna hide some of the imperfections. It looks pretty straight to me, and the cracks aren't really catching my finger, so I'm gonna call it good. I am gonna mask up my back window and give it some primer. I didn't mask anything else yet because, well, yeah, it's not a big deal. But since I have my garage door open, it's starting to get a little windy around here. I don't want a bunch of overspray. Not because I care, but because I'm lazy. I'll have to take it off later on. So, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about, you thought you were gonna get away, but you're not. I'm gonna switch back to 220 grit and give this a little, and then I'm gonna hit the whole thing with acetone and shoot down with some, I'm gonna do the heavy primer on this. I'll probably just hit this with the regular primer, which is darker color, which you'll see. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much more of the heavy primer. I probably will find some other areas that I want to use that on. All right, well, let me get back to work and I'll update you when I'm ready. Okay, so here's what I ended up doing. I said I was gonna go ahead and clean it off and, you know, prime it, but I ended up just kind of going to town with the old 220 grit. I did find some stuff that I'm not super excited about. I already knew about the Landau roof, you know, and how nasty this looks. You know, I did find some more cracking. You know, so on these 70s cars, and really any cars with Landau roofs, from the factory, they're not super great about, you know, doing the body work under where the Landau roof sits. And a buddy of mine has a very similar car that has pulled off his Landau roof, and we'll show you his as well because it's even worse than mine. But anyway, so you know, there's this line of, you know, what I assume is body filler that I'm not gonna fix. And, you know, like around the windows here, I don't have these trim rings. I've got a couple ideas. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna go with, but you know, it's not really good looking. It's pretty nasty. So I'm gonna clean that up a little bit and then prime that. The rest of the roof isn't terrible. I do have some nastiness in here I might come back and do a little bit more work on that, just so I don't have a bunch of pinholes in the final product, because that would bother me because I'm tall enough to see it. Man, I wish I was a midget. Then I wouldn't have to worry about that. But it wasn't in God's plan. So now I got to paint my roof. Anyway, I didn't do anything else with the hood. I haven't done anything else with this side of the car because it's kind of a tighter squeeze. But I did go ahead and hit this area that had the oil stain before. Looks like it came right out. That's paint right there. I thought this was more oil. It's not. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up and prime it. This side of the car, I didn't find any more issues on this side of the car. The Landau roof on this side, or the window frame, is actually quite a bit better than the other side. Same with this. Maybe the body guy that worked on this car before me focused more on this side because it's where the driver gets in, just to make it look like he's doing his job. Anyway, you know, a lot better over here. Still got a couple little rust spots that we went over in the first video. I said I wasn't gonna fix them. I guess I lied to you guys. We're gonna have to go to couples counseling because I need to work on being more honest. Okay, you know, this relationship is gonna have to be predicated on honesty. I'm not doing a great job. So this right here, might need to fix that. And a little more sanding. Even this side of the roof is weird. You know, there's no pinholes on this side of the roof. I just gave this a quick little whoosh with the 220, and you know, like there's none of the pinholes. It's weird. It's real weird. Maybe it's not weird, but I'm pretty sure the body guy that was messing with this car before me got over on the prior owner, and you know, he just didn't even try on the passenger side. And you know, I guess the guy that had it before me, maybe he was single, maybe he didn't have any passengers, or maybe he didn't care, maybe he did himself, who knows. But anyway, I'm gonna actually, at this point, actually, you know what, I'm not 100% positive this primer's dry yet. I was gonna say I'm gonna pull it out, give it a baby duck soap wash, and then pull it back in. I'm not convinced that's the best course of action until I know that primer is dry. So I guess I'm gonna start wiping it down with, actually, you know what I found? Like, probably body people watching this are gonna just thumb down the video and never watch me again. I used a little bit of glass cleaner to clean this up, you know, and you know, it seemed like it was doing a pretty good job. You know, I can't complain. So I'm gonna do that. I've also been hitting it with acetone. I was just hitting it with the Windex first. Okay, you know, it's streak free. They didn't lie about the streak thing. It's streak free. Well, maybe it's not, but that's probably my fault because I'm using a paper towel. I don't think you're supposed to use paper towels either. Again, body guys and me, they're not gonna like what they see. It's fine though. Everything's fine. This looks fine to me. All right, it's time to get back to work. See all that? I sanded that. Okay, well, here's where we're gonna end up for the day. I even brought in the quality control manager just to make sure I didn't mess anything up. He's doing a great job. Apparently so am I, because he's not even murping right now. So, what did I do? Okay, so I masked off the back window using some my expired grocery store ads. Masked off the side window. And you know what? Let me tell you. The masking process took longer than the sanding and the priming. All right, so do not recommend. You know, darn it, I need to get better about this. I keep leaving my trunk keys in the car. I'm gonna put that away. All right. So here's where we're at. This came out, I think by the time we get some paint on that, it's gonna look half respectable. At least good enough for the girls that I date. I went ahead and threw a little primer on this just to see how it was gonna look. Like I think I said before, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the stupid emblems back on, even though they're not correct. As far as the Landau goes, or the sins covered by the Landau, I should say, not great. Definitely gonna have some cracking issues. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm just gonna run it. So we're gonna send it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and look online for the trim rings for this. I think I talked about that earlier. I said that, I was gonna come up with something to clean this up a little bit. I still might come up with something else. Maybe there's like a little trim, like, black trim that I can run on here, because I don't know if I really want to go with the chrome. I already kind of screwed myself by not masking this off, which was a mistake that I'm gonna now have to live with. Okay, just noticed that. What else did I come up with? Not a whole lot more sins here. I'm gonna just hit this with the dark primer, not the high build. It's smooth, it's fine. Once it's all one color, you won't notice it. I won't notice it. I'll probably notice it, but I won't care. There's some weird scaling going on in here. I'm gonna hit that with some 220 grit, see what happens. Yeah, it's coming together. I need to mask off my taillights. I'm gonna snag this bumper off. And when I take my taillights out, I'll figure out how to get this piece out. And we'll keep on going. But I think that's gonna do it for this video and today, because I've got a sandwich to eat. And a sandwich to make, because I haven't made a sandwich yet to eat. So I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a sandwich. Y'all stay blessed, and thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe if you're into that. And I'll see you on the next one.